Welcome back to the Milwaukee Show, and today we are talking about recap of last night's games. Now, usually I love to go through each game because I love hockey, and especially playoff hockey, and I love watching playoff hockey and watching them and then making a video about it so you people at home can watch and hear my opinions. I'm not some old guy who's just retelling you the game like if it's some sort of story. No, I give you like my opinion on the current stakes of the games and the series and what's going on and what needs to change or whatnot. I'm not going to retell you everything. But unfortunately, I am a student and I was trying to watch hockey in my class, but the teacher turned off all the lights and he saw that my computer was the only one open and I had to close it because he told me to. So I was unable to watch the game, so I was very annoyed by that, but that'll be the last time that happens. So this will be the last time I make a video like this where I just talk to you about all the games. So let's just go through the games and the series currently and where they're at. So last night, fortunately, I got to miss Boston versus Toronto, which was a game, and then the next one especially, which I do not know where that went. Hang on. Found them. This game I would have loved to have seen, as well as really all of them. Maybe not this one so much, not because I kind of figure Edmonton's going to win, but it was a fun game nonetheless to watch. So regardless, I really wish I could have saw this one, and the ending does surprise me. The ending score of 3-2, and what a bounce back by Toronto. I watched some of the clips, I watched some of the replays, and I saw some of the goals. And this was a good game for Toronto. They really did fight back today. Samsonov did have a very good comeback game, and I do disagree with the Bruins' decision to stick with their game plan last year, and I really hope, not because I'm some sort of huge Bruins fan or I'm so against the Leafs, but if I was to lie, I would be lying if I said I wasn't cheering for the Bruins in this series, but at the end of the day, I don't really care because neither of them are going to get that far in the playoffs, I don't think. But for me, the Bruins, it does annoy me that last year they did fumble the bag with the whole goaltender decision, how they ran with that, and this year they're going to maybe make the same mistake where instead of just riding who's hot, they just go back and forth, and here they go, going with Ullmark, which Ullmark, far from a bad goaltender, but Jeremy Swayman was 4-0 with a .962 save percentage against the Toronto Maple Leafs. They should have run with the hot goalie. Swayman, if he starts next game and they win again, I swear to God, as a slight Bruins fan, I would be so angry. I would be so angry because Swayman deserves the spot if he wins next game. If he doesn't and Toronto's just playing really good, then it's whatever. But for me, Swayman should have started this game with how hot he's been against Toronto. And Toronto, a good game. Domi, Tavares, and Matthews, the guys that you want to see getting on the board. Domi being like a secondary scorer, gets on the board. Tavares and Matthews, the big money guys, especially Matthews, getting up there on the board. And Matthews with the game-winning goal as well. And for Boston, too, Pasta gets on the board and Geeky, once again, high goal scoring, low goal scoring. They got that going for them. But right now, the series is tied 1-1. And to me, this is scary as a Bruins fan. Because Toronto is a very momentum and high-risk team, and to me, you don't want them to get hot. And if next game they go out there and Matthews is still hot from his game-winning goal, and Toronto is going to be buzzing from the fans and the crowd, and Toronto, I would feel without a doubt getting their first game at home for the playoffs. They're going to start off hot as hell, and they're going to go out there and they're going to be buzzing, and I worry as a Boston fan that they're going to start out hot, and Swayman, after maybe being a little bit resentful after not playing, maybe being a little bit more like, I'm ready to win this, maybe a little bit like too not calm and wanting to win, I know you want to win, but you know what I mean, where it's like, okay, I'm getting anxious for the game with Toronto starting out hot, and if they get an early goal, could really mess up the Bruins. For me, I'm worried right now. Toronto, this is exactly where you want to be. You want to be going home after at least one win away. You get that set game 2 win. You go back home after a hard-fought game. Start off at home, start out hot, get an early goal or two. Would be huge for Toronto. This is the position they want to be in, especially after that game 1. And if they can win game 2 and in like a good victory, maybe as long as, I don't want to say hard fought because any of these series are going to be hard fought victories, especially against their rival in Boston. But if they get a good win, regardless of if that's like, 6-1 or something like that, or if it's like an overtime 4-3 game, regardless of anything, just a solid win for Toronto is going to be huge to push them forward into game 4, where then Boston's probably like starting to question things a little bit, and depending on the goaltending situation, then they get another second hand. They could lead the series 3-1 real quick. So, Toronto, perfect position. Boston, I'm worried right now. Moving on to the game that I wish I didn't get to miss, because this is the one I was most looking forward to, because Hurricanes against the Islanders was fun game 1. The only thing I got to see from this before my teacher told me to turn off my computer was the really good fight between, who was it? Was it McLean and Nason? It was right, Nason. I think it was Nason. Whoever the fight was, that tilt was incredible. That was one of the better hockey fights I've seen in a while. A lot of the time, even like I know like Rempe's like really fun to watch, but one of his fights was just like a lot of just standing there and like trying to hit, nothing really going. These two guys were going back and forth, really moving and like going for it. It was so fun to watch. Good fight. And that was like immediately before I was told to close my thing. But holy crap. New York, this is kind of what I thought would happen with this team. This team is supposed to be like the really good defensive like shell of a team, right? With some good spikes to score some goals. And the beginning of this game is exactly what you want, because this team isn't very lethal offensively. And then they get 3-0 on the board, 3-0 on the board. All they got to do is sit back and play the game that they're best at, defense. And holy crap, the Hurricanes coming in, storm surging them, scoring 5 straight goals, leading them 2-0 in the series now. Oh my god, the Hurricanes. And then there's the 9-second goals between Sebastian Aho and Martinook's goals. Insane. And I know one of them's an empty net, but Jarvis, Aho, Gensel, that top line there. I know Svechnikov slid up there, so I guess depending on how you see things. But regardless, those top guys scoring goals. Teravainen and Martinook chipping in too. Hurricanes are hot. They are hot, and a series like this where right now the Islanders really do look like jokes, a sweep by the Hurricanes, or at least like a Game 5 win, and then going into next series against like the Rangers could be huge for them. Because the Rangers right now aren't really being that challenged by the Capitals, where they might like not have to fight that hard against the Caps and really be pushed to their limit, and then they go in the next game kind of, I don't want to say cold, but they're not really warmed up to the playoffs, and the Hurricanes have been buzzing. Then that would kind of worry me for an upset there. But for me, the Canes right now, super high on them. Big win for them, 2-0 in the series, and they just got to keep rolling. They just got to keep rolling with the intensity. They got to keep rolling, and that's just it. And the Islanders, I don't know. I've never had a chance or hope for them since day one, since before the playoffs, since any time. I don't think they should be in the playoffs. So for me, can they turn things around? I don't really think so. I just don't think this team... it was the issue with like Lou Lamoriello, where at least with like the Maple Leafs, they try over and over again, but at least they have like the star power to really believe in them. The Islanders, without making any moves at all to change the system that has shown to not work, is doing nothing to help them. And me, the Canes are going to win this one easily. Then, in the West, the Vegas Golden Knights surprised me with a 4-3 win and some big goal scorers. Mark Stone, his first game back after his incredible regeneration ability, scores a first goal of the game. Marchessault, Tomas Hertl got a power play goal. Also, Noah Hannafin had an assist as well in this game. And Braden McNabb with a goal as well. 4 goals for them. And while the Stars were fighting back, made the game 4-2. Never was really challenging to try to get back into this one from what I saw. But Jamie Benn, Robo, and Marchment getting on the board. So you get some of the names that you want scoring, right? And for me, this is one that I really wanted to see, because to me, this is basically like the Western Conference Finals to me. I think no matter what happens in this series, the winner goes on to the finals. And so I really wanted to see this game. I didn't get to see it, and I'd be lying if I said I saw any clips from it. So I'm just not going to speak that much about it. But from what I do see on the board here is that the Stars' offense either was shut down or wasn't there to score goals. And I don't know, so I'm not going to be an arrogant prick and lie that I know what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to say I hope the Stars come back because they're who I picked to win this series. And I also kind of hate Vegas because I am a pretty big Sharks and Coyotes and Dallas fan. So I'd rather the Vegas Golden Knights lose. But I have a Vegas shirt right over there, so I also don't really care that much because I just like hockey. Anyways, I just wish I saw the game, to be honest. Then, last but not least, the high-scoring game, 7-4. The Edmonton Oilers win. And I didn't need to see this game to know that every part of what makes the Oilers good was in effect this game, and also what makes them bad and scares me for the long run. So obviously the offense, as killer as ever, Zach Hyman continuing his season of scoring goals into this one with the hat trick, which is one of the things that I was questioning about them, is if the Kings can shut down that Hyman kind of play, where he's just very much a... Now, I don't know how he scored the goals, but if he went out his normal way to really shut down that offense, right? And Zach Hyman just still scoring goals, McDavid getting assists for him, Adam Henrique, the addition to the team, getting a goal, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on the power play, as well as Draisaitl on the power play as well. So that's the big thing, is to me the Oilers to win this playoffs, to go deep at least, is that power play needs to be one of their biggest assets, because goal scoring is what's going to save them. Because Edmonton, just by their design, is not going to win those 1-0 games, right? This is a team that wins 7-4. This is a team that wins 9-8, or whatever that one game was against Cal. Was it 9-6? Don't remember. But that's what Edmonton's designed to win, is to keep scoring goals, because their defense and goaltending just isn't the strongest. And I know if you're watching this for the first time, you didn't hear my previous cautions about that before. I'm not saying that like Darnell Nurse and CC are the worst defensemen in the world. People who say that are not too bright. And I'm not saying Stuart Skinner is the worst goaltender. But to me, Skinner does go into the same category of Georgiev, where he isn't reliable. He is not the goaltender that you can put out there and he's going to save your life and keep you in the playoffs. Now, if he has fine defense in front of him and a fine game going on in front of him, he is a fine goaltender. We've seen that plenty of times, but he is not Bobrovsky. He's not going to be a guy where the team has zero defense and can just shut down the other team. He needs people to play in front of him, and the defense of the Oilers and their upfront, their offensive two-way game also isn't the greatest. They are a complete offensive attack. And as you can see, the Kings with Anderson, Kempe, Dubois, and more, some of the names that you don't usually see scoring goals for the Kings on the board this game to score 4 goals in game 1. So to me, it's kind of showing of the weaknesses and strengths of the Oilers. And this is the Oilers game, the 7-4. And that is one reason that I'm going to talk about in a video that comes after this about why that kind of scares me. So I'll talk more about that then. But that is really all I got to say. So for right now, the series 1-0 for the Stars, 1-0 for the Oilers. And I couldn't speak much about them. At least I saw parts of these games, and I got to see the idea of them. But the other two, I'd be honest, I don't know. I just got back from class. I haven't been able to look at anything, so I decided to talk. So if you think I'm just an ignorant person, that's fine. Whatever. Oh, well. It is what it is. But anyways, I'm excited for tonight's games because I forget to watch them, and I guess that's all I gotta say. So thank you for watching this. If you made it this far, please, I am begging you, please subscribe. Please, I'm begging. Please. And until next time, too sweet, have an amazing day, and ta-ta for now.